In this episode, we meet Frederico Stauffer. After growing up around the world, he is a digital content creator who has adapted to new cultures, people, and mindsets, which has powered his work today. Now, having garnered thousands of followers for his playful videos and interactive online identity, Stauffer is changing how big luxury brands represent themselves online, putting fashion through a fisheye lens, literally. We chat all things Instagram, photography, and the future of the social universe with the young Brazilian multi-hyphenate. Frederico, Fred, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much.
How are you doing?
I'm so good. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm so happy to be here.
Tell me, what pushed you into this field? How did you enter it?
I think by my age, it was like something that it was actually already kind of natural to be on social media.
Mm-hmm.
But at first, when I was at school, I didn't have any of that. I actually just turned 30.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was at school, Instagram didn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
I just picked up a camera from my mom and starting like just, experimenting with photography. That's actually how I kind of started. And once Instagram was there, so I just started like posting like a little bit of my photos, a little bit of my life. But it was not until when Instagram launched Reels that everything actually started for me.
Yeah.
I shifted a little bit from photography to videos and I started like just making those kind of crazy videos, experimenting. It was all experiments.
Yeah, were you filming yourself or other people?
I was actually filming myself at the beginning and I would like put myself in like weird situations and create like visuals and play with different like editing tools and all of that. And that's kind of how I created those first reels that I created that kind of like exploded, and it's actually from there that things started.
It's exciting.
It's with the launch of reels.
So you're completely self-taught?
Yeah, I actually studied media production. It was more like video editing, but kind of like a normal video editing. It was anything crazy, none of that After Effects that I do today. It was very basic. And it was after that I just started experimenting with things. I would like to think of something and think of like a scenario. For example, I'm gonna jump in this pool and then I'm gonna flick myself out of it. Like this hand is gonna... And then it was just like, okay, how can I do that? So I was just watching like a bunch of videos online and trying to learn from everything that I could. And it was actually from those videos that I actually doing and experimenting that I was like learning.
Yeah.
It was more learning process.
So you learned how to do what you wanted to make rather than a seminar on special effects or water effects.
Yeah, I think it was more like the practical side. So me really trying to take a video, imagine something and creating that and learn how to create that and then put that online, like this whole kind of process, is what like teached me the most, I would say.
Yeah, I think your content really just takes us outside of our expectations with what we're watching. It's really magical.
That's exactly what I try, it's like break the expectations. Every time that I do something the people is going to start watching. So they're expecting something and I'm gonna try to make something that you're not gonna expect at all. That's always my goal,
Yeah, that's the payoff though, because I'm like, I know where this is going, and then for you to take it somewhere else is always really special.
Exactly, because that's the feeling also that when I watch a video and then I watch something that is kind of unexpected, like I love this feeling, And this feeling is actually started when I was at school with magic, because I actually have a little passion for magic in general.
Okay,
I would be that annoying guys in parties at uni and be like, hey, pick a card. And because I always like this, created this element of surprise and like this feeling of, what just happened? And that's what I try to achieve.
Can you still do tricks?
Yeah. I do. Like maybe I'm not like that like quick with my hands and the cards anymore because it's all about practice. But I remember a few.
Maybe there's a penny behind my ear that you just have to reach.
I was just gonna take it out at the end.
What are some of your favorite videos that you've made?
I think it's like my favorite videos is those crazy ones that I jump out of something and then I flick myself over and like it's those crazy ones. I did one so fun. That I was just vacuuming people outside of my window. I had this radio vacuum and it's like things that like comes out of nowhere. I was literally cleaning the house.
Yeah.
And I was like looking outside. There's like some people, cars, bikes. And I was like, oh my God, it'd be so fun if I just like take the vacuum and like with the perspective, like it looks like I'm vacuuming, cleaning the city, And this was pretty fun. I did one where I take the moon and I place the moon to where the sun is gonna be like the next day in the morning. So it's kind of like changing from like night to day, kind of like, you know, it's like, I think my favorite videos are those crazy things that I do.
Yeah, like very surrealist.
Yes, a
very,
lot. Very like, what? You know, it's like...
yeah, but like real life, but like weird stuff happening in real life.
Like, you know, it's not real.
Yes.
But at the same time, it's fun, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I think what I will always try to do is, it's like just have some fun, you know, because it's just fun to create like stuff that, you know, it's like, what? And having those reactions from people that is very similar to when I was at uni and making some magics. And then, wait, how did you do that? Like that reaction. And actually, to come back a little bit before to that, it was, I got into magic because somebody made me a magic, like did a magic trick with me. Yeah. And I had that reaction of, wait, how did you do that?
Yeah.
And I love that reaction. That's how I wanted to create this reaction, like, you know, throughout like my magic at first, and then, you know, through with my videos after.
But and then you come in and work for brands and you help them make magic.
Now like those brands are like calling me and then asking for some magic too. Obviously, it's not always magic stuff.
No,
because I have to adapt. And sometimes it's like a little bit more playful. I can be a little bit more crazy depending on what it is.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a little bit more slick, a little bit more like short content, but there's always going to be something, you know, that it's a little bit like a trick or something, or even if it's just like a slight like visual effect, but like simple.
But I love the fact that in order to develop your work, it's not just about going bigger and bigger and more surreal and more crazy. It's about like refining it.
Of course. Yeah. And I'm exactly in this period right now, you know, of not expanding that much, but being stronger.
Yeah.
And making it better.
Yeah.
You know, even if this means like making like a little bit less.
It's more concentrated.
Yeah.
You moved around the world a lot as a kid. Do you think that has influenced the type of work that you've made?
I think, 100%. And especially like today, like working with different brands, because it's all about the way I'm going to adapt myself. And even before moving out of Brazil, I was already moving cities there. My dad was a military at the time. So we were just like moving around a lot. And I had no choice other than know how to adapt myself into like different people, different environments, and different schools. Because I actually moved like schools quite a lot, like different friends and relationships, and everything changes all the time. So it's all about like, you know, taking it in a good way and learning how to adapt and be flexible and not be too picky sometimes. And so that's what like today, when I work with different brands and I have different projects, it comes exactly from that. That's actually something that I say when I talk about like my traveling, that this is something that helped me a lot. It's what made me like what I am today. You know, like I grew up in a place in Brazil, and then like I moved, I had to learn how to grow up in a different culture, like, because I didn't even know what culture means. Like, for me, there was just like people that would speak different languages, but it's way more than that. And when you start like discovering that like people has like different behaviors, and you don't really expect that because you're not used to that. At first, kind of like looks strange, but when you learn how to like understand that there's difference and being able to, you know, work around that and find your own place, you know, that's what I was like looking for.
Yeah. Do you think you can adapt to anything now?
I think so.
That's what it taught you.
I think it's one of my biggest strengths is be able to adapt.
Yeah, I
in
mean,
different like scenarios and
People
situations.
traditionally hate change, so it's good that you're good at it.
Exactly. Yeah, because I was like forced to change a lot. Even when I moved to France, I went to England for my university. So even that, I moved like again, and so I was like in a different place. And once I got there, it was the first time. It was in Leicester, in the UK. The first time I got there was when I went there for my studies. So I arrived, I didn't even know nothing. Like, I remember I arrived, it was like nighttime. I just like took a taxi out of the train station. I was like, I need to go to my dorms. I didn't even know exactly what it was, but I find my way there. And then everything was kind of building like this.
It's one of those things that once you've done something like that, like it gives you a resilience to be able to do something like that again.
Yeah, for sure. And even like silly things, being like, I remember at uni, like being like just like in a party and not understanding like what anybody was saying because it's just, and you're just there alone and you're just like, don't really know what to do, and like being cool with that, is like something that like makes you being cool with anything,
Yeah.
If you're like in weird like situations and then weird like environments, I'm just gonna be cool with it and be fine, I'm
and here you
I'm
are.
chilling.
Does the pressure of being so popular online get to you?
Not anymore. First of all, like I don't consider myself like popular online. Like I don't like go outside and there's like people waiting for me. It's not like I had like millions of followers. It's different. I don't consider myself as an influencer. When sometimes like I have people like recognizing me and stopping me, like it's a different approach. It's more like, oh, like I like your work. I like your videos. I like your photos. It's different. But there is something that did like, and it does sometimes like mess up with your head a little bit, is the fact that this whole like liking, commenting like situation when you post something online and then you don't have the recognition that you thought you needed, but then you think that your work is not good enough because you don't have enough likes. But all of this is just all like wrong, because it's all like an algorithm. It's all how you feed the platform that your content is going to perform. It's all about math. It's all about like consistency. So you can be putting something that it's not going to be that good, but if you put it every day, it's going to be more relevant than other things that you do it like as a passion. And then, for example, like right now, if I post like a picture of like an old lady in Paris on my Instagram, I don't have likes on those type of pictures.
Yeah.
Because like people are like, look at this, what is that? Like I started following you because you made some fun videos. Like, So, but then when you see something like this, you're like, wait, what? Like my photo is not good. Wait, why this picture has more likes than mine?
Yeah.
And like once you go into this path and asking those questions, it's when it started messing with your head.
Yeah.
Once you actually let it go and like truly let it go, all of that, and really accept that this is just an algorithm. It's all like math. There is nothing to do with the quality of your content or whatsoever. And once you like really let go of like stats and all of that and numbers, then you just like start like right now I just like post whatever I want to post. Yeah. Like before I would not post something because I'm like, oh, this picture like doesn't do well on Instagram. Right now, if I want to post a picture of an old lady in Paris, then I will. Nobody's going to like that, whatever. Like, this is like my space that I'm just going to share like whenever I want to share and with the frequency that I want to share. I'm not going to change my lifestyle just to please an algorithm, just to have more likes and feel better. But like, no, like this is so like I feel better in different ways,
Yeah, I think there's a lot of power in not going just with the flow.
Yeah.
Doing your own thing.
Yeah.
I've heard you've got your grandfather's camera tattooed on your arm.
I do. Right here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's a big one.
Tell me
about it. Took 6 hours to get it. It's actually, I love it because this is actually my granddad's camera. I took a picture of the camera, showed the tattoo artist, and I was like, can you do exactly that? And it was quite painful, I'm not gonna lie.
Did he take a lot of pictures with it?
That's the interesting part. I actually don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, I've only seen like very few of my granddad's pictures. My granddad is not here anymore. But when I was a kid and when we were together, like he was actually not taking pictures anymore. Like this camera was actually like in a box, retired for a long time. And when I was a kid, I didn't even know that he was a photographer. It was only after when I started like getting to photography that my parents was telling, like your granddad had this camera, and then I discovered, and it's a funny story about how I got the camera. Yeah. Because my mom had it. It's actually my dad's father, but for some reason my mom was responsible for the camera. Mom was the boss, And so she had it, and I wanted the camera so bad, and she told me, if you know how to use it, if you learn how to use it and you can take pictures with it, then okay. I looked online, everything I found, it was like, I don't even know how old is this camera. I know that it's 50 years old, like plus. Yeah. And I found online this old instruction, like scanned, like figured out how to work the camera. And then my mom gave the camera to me and I actually started taking some pictures with it.
Wow.
And it's crazy because there were some like classic like family photos of my dad when he was a kid.
Yeah.
Took him with this camera from like, you know, my granddad, like, and it's just like crazy to me. It's like a crazy feeling to have this camera. It's like
cool.
Represents a lot in a way, because for some, I know that in some like weird reason, I got some of his photography passion, you know?
Yeah.
He was kind of maybe lost like a little bit on the way, but I managed to bring it back.
Where's your favorite place to take pictures?
You know, like I said, you know, like I love moving around and being like adapted to like different environments, but I would say it's Paris.
Okay.
Paris is really like my favorite
Paris
place.
Is pretty.
Yeah. It's not only pretty, but it's just, I love walking around, like just take my camera, like go outside and just walk. And Paris is just like the perfect place to do that. And it's also the place where I like took the most pictures. It's a place where I feel confident and I just know there and I just love it because every day, everywhere you look, there's just like so many beautiful people and beautiful architecture and beautiful history, and in just every corner, I feel like it's a beautiful picture.
Yeah, you're able to translate Paris also in your work into something that's like this grand day, mother city, but you create some real playful, immediate, impactful work there.
Yeah, because most of the time, like you look at it and it kind of like Paris like looks like a little bit sad most of the times, you know. But like even like from that sadness, you know, I try to make something beautiful out of it and capture like what I see today. And I know that like in a few years, just like when I see now old pictures, you know, it's just like a moment of reliving that era, you know.
And you do something similar with the big brands, right? You translate these kind of historic, very multi-layered brands into something that's very immediate. And how do you do it?
That's actually the biggest challenge, you know, that I have. And it's also having this skill of like flexibility, you know, it's like good for that. I really try to obviously keep elegant and keep, you know, like do something that is going to remain the face of the brand, but that is just going to speak to the youth a little bit better. Because the new generation now, it's like consuming everything through their phones and the people like, I don't like personally watch TV that much anymore. So the challenge is to how can I keep elegant and create like these things for this brand, all of these videos, this content that I create, but at the same time, it stay a little bit like fun and fresh and cool, you know, that it's gonna be, you know, good for them and then also like a little bit relevant for the people that are consuming on this platform.
Yeah, I think people want to feel that sense of purpose from their branded content in a way that other content can feel a bit more throwaway.
Of course.
A bit more aimless.
Yeah. I feel that it's just like a different language, you know. One thing is to create like the campaigns and those pictures and it's always going to be there. But now I feel that there is just like a new way of speaking to the new generation. And it's a language that I kind of understand pretty well.
Yeah. What does a typical day look like for you?
I would say a lot of thinking.
Yeah.
Because most of my time is I spend actually creating those concepts and thinking of these ideas. I would say like from everything that I do, capturing it's what takes the less time. Creating the ideas, it's what takes the most time. And then editing, it's also long, but it's more thinking. So I like to wake up in the morning and obviously have like a little coffee. I try to have like a moment of I just like zone out a little bit.
Yeah, good.
Before I kind of start my day. I've been trying to do that recently because with everything happened like so fast to me this past year that it kind of like messed up a little bit my schedule and my routine. I feel that I don't really like have a routine anymore. I've been trying to. I'm working hard to actually wake up in the morning, like go do some exercise, like you know, like be kind of like very proactive like this. But at the moment, it's just like kind of all over the place. But I try to wake up in the morning, have like this moment I'm gonna zone out, and it's basically like just start my day like with what I have to do, and which is gonna be either editing, creating like ideas, or like filming something new. And right now I'm like really into golfing. I played golf for the first time like not long ago.
And you're in.
I'm so in. I'm so
it's meditative,
in.
isn't
So
it?
it's just like those things that like for me, it's some sort of like meditation.
Mm-hmm.
It's everything, all of those things that I do throughout my day that helps me, keep like doing good work and like not losing my mind, because it's the work that I do also with myself to remain like calm and be like keep doing good work and not let all of this kind of like mess with my head, So there's a lot of like working with myself as well throughout my day, to keep going, and that's why like sports or like bring back sports into my life. It's gonna also be good.
You are basically a one-man show when it comes to creating content. Is that ever challenging? Do you like working on your own?
Yeah, first of all, I love working on my own. It's not because I don't like working teams. It's more that I like everything that I do. All this process, so like having the ideas. So once I have my idea, I want to shoot it.
Yeah.
Once I shoot it, I want to edit it.
Yeah.
And I want to have this whole product like done by me, not because I just want to work alone, but it's just like I love that.
Yeah.
I love like creating all of that. Am I gonna get to a certain point where I'm gonna have to get more help, like work more people, which is fine. But right now, like I just love doing this, and yeah, it's challenging because sometimes I can be finishing editing a project and at the same time be requested for something new, and have to present the ideas for that. And I have this whole like process when it comes to pre-production and creating something new. I actually make tests. It's actually kind of funny. Sometimes it's usually like me, like in my pajamas, like with sleepers at home. Yeah. But it's just to show visually what I want to do, because it's very hard to explain my crazy ideas. Oh it's gonna pop out of the box and this is gonna happen. What does that mean? So I create all those tests, like make like this like deck, so it's a very like hard process, like at the beginning that takes time. But once like everything is kind of like mixed it up, it gets like challenging, because it's hard for me to work on something when my brain is somewhere else. I need to switch off from one project and start working on something else. I can't really like do like, but it's what makes it fun, If it was easy, it wouldn't be cool.
Yeah, very true. I think also you're constantly sort of challenging yourself and developing, and sometimes you just need to be in your own creative flow. What do you think is coming next in the photography world or online?
I mean, to be honest, like I don't like that much like thinking like what's gonna come next, because I love the challenge. I love like just see the wave coming when it's already like big and okay, I'm taking off now. Now it's my moment to kind of like adapt and see what's happening. And it's exciting, as well, like not know what to expect. And because I'm so focused on what's happening right now, that like I'm not really like thinking what's gonna be next, but I think like metaverse, it's coming, and I don't think like digital is gonna end. I think it's just gonna like in a way evolve. But like I think nobody really knows what that means for now. But I'm just ready for it, Something new is gonna come, and I'm just gonna be there, ready to like readapt.
Just gonna adapt. That's what you do.
Yeah.
What do you see next for yourself? Is there anything you want to achieve that you haven't yet?
Yeah. I want to learn how to play saxophone.
Oh, very fun.
Yeah.
I didn't think you were going to say that.
I know. And I'm going to win some golf tournaments, because now that I'm very into that.
Wait, saxophone. So why the saxophone?
Okay, I love music.
Yeah.
And this is something that like I've always done. Like when I was a kid, the first instrument that I started playing was drums.
Yeah.
I didn't play like that much. Then I moved to guitar, and I was just like playing guitar, but like just by myself, I've been like cool. Playing, and then I love to sing. Yeah. Even though I don't know, like I just like make some music just for myself because I just love it. And saxophone was always my dream to learn how to play saxophone, but pretty like expensive instrument, so I didn't have the opportunity to try it like when I was younger. But I always had that in my head, and I just want to be, be like at home, be like jamming, like playing some stuff, and I just want to know how to play. Like
I'm so into it.
Yeah, I love it. Do you play?
But also, I'm terrible. But like drums, guitar, singing, saxophone. You are a one-man band.
No, but like more into my like career, like goals and everything. I think I just, in this idea of like refining and like making it better, I just want to keep like doing this, maybe like in a little bit bigger scale, maybe bring like also photography into my work as well. Not only creating, you know, those social assets, but also create the main campaign as well, and create like the photography and like expanding my one-man show situation into all of this and having like more of a voice on those campaigns.
I love that.
I think that's what like something that would be cool, you know, other than the saxophone and golfing.
I mean, playing the sax, or like putting, like, I don't know. You do a video on.
For sure.
You don't need my help doing ideas for your
And it's
videos.
funny because one of my first viral videos was like a golfing video.
Yeah, was it?
It was the first time that I went like that I hold like a golf club. And I just did like a transition, like a closing transition. And like everybody went mad at me on Instagram because my swing was apparently like very bad.
Oh yeah, brilliant. People just love to be pernickety.
Oh yeah.
In 3 words, what are the traits that you believe make a good boss?
The first one, I would say ambitious. The second and third, it's a little bit less on the work situation, but more on the person. And I would say it's calmness and kindness. For me, it's very, very important. Obviously, we don't want to be working with somebody that's not kind. But for me, it goes way beyond that. I remember being as a kid, my dad telling me, you have to speak and respect everybody in the room the same way. The boss and the person that it's going to be there helping like with the cleaning and even if you are the boss, doesn't make you like any different and doesn't justify in any way the fact that you can be disrespectful to somebody and not be kind and not just like smile, like get into your desk, like speak to your employees and be nice to everyone and just like smile. This, I said it like last, but I think it's like the most important trait.
On that note, thank you so much for joining me on the podcast. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you so much. It's been my pleasure. It's been so nice talking to you and having me here. Like it's
you too.
It's
see
amazing.
You on the surfboard with the saxophone.
And the golf course maybe.
Thank you for listening to Behind the Boss with your host. That's me, Raven Smith. If you want to find out more about what it takes to be a boss and the stories behind the inspirational figures of today, make sure to tune in.